Have you ever had that feeling? That sharp, sinking feeling late at night when the distractions fade, the screen light dims, and for a moment, it's just you and the quiet. And in that quiet, a question whispers, what did I actually do today? Not for a boss, not for your notifications, not for the endless scroll, but for you. We fill our days with busyness, convinced we're moving forward. We chase comfort, avoid difficult conversations, and soothe our anxieties with one more video, one more click. We trade our time, the only currency we're truly given, for crumbs of distraction. And we call it living. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy, forged in the fires of real hardship, not in cozy theory, but in war, exile, and loss, holds 7 brutal, unwavering truths that can shatter that cycle. Truths that don't care about your feelings, but care desperately about your life. Truths that command you to stop wasting what is most precious and start building something real. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about clear seeing, and it starts right now. Music subtly swells, then transitions to a steady, determined rhythm. So let's talk about Stoicism. But forget the dusty statues and old books. Think of it as an operating system for a life of purpose, resilience, and action. The Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled the known world from a war tent, Seneca the playwright and advisor, and Epictetus, who was born a slave. They didn't write to be famous. They wrote manuals for survival, for excellence, for peace in a chaotic world. Their central brutal truth is this: we do not control the events that happen to us, but we have absolute control over how we choose to respond to them. Your opinion, your judgment, your action, that is your sovereign domain. And most of our suffering comes from confusing what we can control with what we cannot. Let's begin with the first truth. Look at your hands. You own nothing in them. Not your phone, not your car, not your home. They are on loan. But the seconds ticking by as you hear my voice, that is yours. And it is being spent, irrevocably, right now. P.N. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote a letter called On the Shortness of Life. In it, he delivers a devastating blow. You are living as if destined to live forever. Your own frailty never occurs to you. You don't notice how much time has already passed, but squander it as though you had a full and overflowing supply. We act like immortal gods, with infinite tomorrows. We postpone the hard work, the meaningful conversation, the pursuit of our craft. I'll start next month, next year, when things settle down. But here is the truth. Your life is a defined, shrinking container. You don't know its size. Every moment of complaint, of resentment, of mindless consumption, is a handful of sand you choose to let spill onto the floor. You are not waiting for time. Time is waiting on you to finally respect it, to invest it, not just spend it. The first step to building your life is to stare directly at the finiteness of your days and let that clarity, not fear, propel you. Which leads us to the second truth. You have a goal, a dream, and right between you and it stands a problem. A person who says no, a lack of resources, a failure. Our instinct is to see it as a stop sign, to curse it, resent it, wish it away. The Stoics flipped this on its head. Epictetus said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That difficulty is not a detour from your path. It is the essential training ground of your path. Want to build discipline? You need the obstacle of your own laziness to overcome. Want to build courage? You need the obstacle of fear to stand up against. The muscle of your character is forged through resistance. No resistance, no strength. Stop asking for a perfect, easy path. That path builds nothing of value. Instead, look at the very thing blocking you and say, "This is not my enemy. This is the raw material for my growth. This is where I practice patience, creativity, and persistence." The obstacle is the gift. It shows you what you need to learn. And how do we meet these obstacles? This brings us to the third and perhaps most powerful truth. You are betrayed not by events, but by your judgment of them. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Our labeling makes it so. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." Let that sink in. The rain ruins your picnic. That's a fact. This is a terrible, horrible day. That's your judgment. That judgment is the source of your frustration, not the rain itself. Someone criticizes your work. That's a fact. They are wrong and hate me and I am a failure. That's your judgment. That judgment is the source of your pain. You have an interpreter in your mind, narrating every event. And that narrator is often a catastrophizer, a victim, a pessimist. The Stoic practice is to pause that narrator, to see the event plainly, like a scientist observing data. The plan changed. My effort was not received as I hoped. Then, and only then, choose a useful, virtuous response. Separate the clean fact from the messy, self-inflicted story. Your power lies in that space between event and judgment. Now when you master that separation, you discover the fourth truth. Your peace is non-negotiable, and it's an inside job. We make a fatal mistake. We attach our inner peace to external conditions. I'll be happy when I get the promotion, when I find the partner, when I have more money. The Stoics call this the slavery of externals. You are handing the keys to your mental state over to a world that is chaotic, unpredictable, and utterly indifferent to you. It's a recipe for permanent anxiety. True peace, what the Stoics called ataraxia, is an internal fortress. It is built on the unwavering knowledge that your worth, your dignity, your tranquility cannot be touched by outside events. It is fueled by living in accordance with your virtues, courage, justice, temperance, wisdom. No market crash can take those. No opinion can diminish them. Your peace is your responsibility. Not your government's, not your boss's, not your partner's. Yours. And you protect it not by controlling the world, but by mastering your own desires, aversions, and reactions. The world may be in chaos, but your mind can be an ordered, silent sanctuary. You must build it, brick by brick, through daily practice. And what is the tool for that daily practice? It is the fifth truth. Action is the antidote to anxiety. We live in an age of existential anxiety. So much information, so many possibilities, so many ways to fail. It paralyzes us. The Stoics had a famous, stark practice, memento mori. Remember you must die. This sounds morbid, but its purpose is liberating. It is the ultimate urgency engine. When you hold the fact of your inevitable death in your mind, not with terror, but with clarity, all the trivialities fall away. That awkward conversation you need to have, do it. That project you're passionate about, start it. That gratitude you feel, express it. Death doesn't make life pointless. It makes every present action pointed. Anxiety lives in the hypothetical future. Action lives in the real present moment. The fear of failure, of judgment, shrivels in the face of the greater truth, that not trying, not living fully, is the only real failure. Let the awareness of the end strip away your hesitation and reveal what truly matters. Then act on it, now. And how do we ensure our actions matter? With the sixth truth. You are what you repeatedly do. We think of our lives as defined by big, dramatic moments. The Stoics knew better. Your life is defined by the small, repeated choices of every single day. Your character is not a declaration. It is a construction site. active every waking hour. Each time you choose to get up when the alarm sounds, you build the pillar of discipline. Each time you listen instead of react in anger, you lay a brick for patience. Each time you do the right thing when no one is watching, you fortify your integrity. There are no shortcuts. Excellence, or areta, is a habit. It is the countless, invisible repetitions. You don't find a better life. You build it through the relentless, daily discipline of your perceptions, your choices, and your actions. Look at your routines. They are the blueprint of your future self. Design them with intention. All of this leads to the final calling truth. The world needs you to be powerful. Stoicism is not about retreating from the world to nurse your own peace. It's about forging an unshakable inner core so you can engage with the world more effectively, more compassionately, more courageously. The world is full of chaos, injustice, and suffering. It doesn't need more cynical bystanders or fragile egos easily offended. It needs people who are calm in the storm, people who can bear difficulty without breaking, people who can act with justice because they are not controlled by fear or anger. Your journey to stop wasting time and build your life is not a selfish one. By mastering yourself, you become a source of strength for others. You become a rock in the river for those being swept away. You lead by the quiet power of example. The most important work you will ever do is on yourself, so that you can then do important work for others. 7 brutal truths, not to depress you, but to awaken you, to strip away the excuses and reveal the stark, beautiful responsibility you have over your one life. You have been given a portion of time. You will face obstacles. Your judgments will betray you. Peace is an inside job. Action is your antidote. Your habits build your destiny. And the world needs the power you can forge within. So, what will you do with this truth? Right now, in this moment you own. The clock is ticking. But for the first time, you can hear it. And that means you can finally use it. Build your life.